Yeah. I just thought I'd make a video. I'm probably going to be rambling. I'm not really good off the cuff. I'm used to talking to another person, but it just feels so awkward talking to my phone or like the computer. It's not like another person because they don't talk back. They don't ask questions. I mean, I'm not popular enough to have a chat, so I can't answer questions. So it's like I'm really just talking to myself, even though other people have the possibility of seeing this. But yeah, but I don't know what to talk about. I talk about my schizophrenic experience and the fact that I don't realize that I'm scary. I was just thinking this. Like, people are scared of me. And I have mental illness. I have schizoaffective disorder. And I'm 6'1", I'm 400 pounds. And, I never realized that I'm scary. I'm gonna drink my Starbucks. Fancy coffee. Love it. I love Starbucks, but they're so expensive. But, like, even my friend Justin, he was like, you don't realize that you're scary. And I guess I don't. Like, and then I talked to, like, one of my Justin's friends, Lyndon, and he's like scared of me or something, and he's like rushing out my car. I'm like, I'm just making a joke, like, you owe me $50 for this ride, bro. Like, I'm just making a joke. And then I tell him I'm joking, but he still doesn't believe me, and he's still trying to give me money for the ride, and he doesn't believe me. And I guess as like a kid growing up, I never pictured myself as scary, you know. But I guess I'm adult. Like, I shave my head. Like, even my dad said, "Oh, when you shave your head, you look like a skinhead or whatever." And like, I'm just trying to have low hair maintenance. I'm not very confrontational at all. I'm not trying to pick a fight or anything. It's just weird. I guess I'm a big guy. Like, I'm not a massive guy. I'm not like 6'6" or whatever. Like, I'm not massive, but like, I am on the taller end of guys, and I weigh a lot. And I have very broad shoulders, and I guess I don't have the best social skills in every situation. So I just like rub people the wrong way, and I scare them. But I don't know what to do about it. I mean, I guess I should just like walk around and be extra friendly. Like, extra friendly. How do I be extra friendly? I thought I was already being friendly, but I don't know how to put people's minds at ease. And I've wondered that, like, do I scare women? Because sometimes I like if you see a beautiful girl, you just want to stare at her, and she's like beautiful. It's like, I wonder if I do that. No, she makes eye contact, I look away. I try to break eye contact, or if it's a girl I know that I think is cute, I make eye contact with her and just say, hey, how are you? But if it's someone I don't know, I break eye contact with them and pretend I wasn't looking at them. But I wonder, you know, they're probably like scared, like, that I'm going to do stuff. I don't know. Is it the beard? Does the beard make me look scary? I don't think I'm scary to all people. But, let me just dive into my schizophrenic experience. Let's see what I want to say. When it was first happening to me, I kept thinking, like, I kept obsessing over social interactions, and like I kept seeing like the wavelength of the finer detail of social interactions, and then like I was like watching these woo-woo videos of like a social interaction, and I thought like I discovered something, to the point where like I convinced myself that I could like read minds. And then I was like, not only am I picking up on the social cues, but, which I'm not, I don't pick up on social cues very well, but I always try to be better at it. But this is what I was like crazy, and I was like obsessing over this. And I kept thinking early on, like, oh, I just have social anxiety. Oh, I just have depression. Oh, like I kept trying to fix myself, and I was like constantly like to overcome social anxiety, I would go out to bars every weekend. I would go out to a bar like every day of the week and try to socialize with like at least one person. And depression, it's like depression, I started, and so I wouldn't be scared of other people, I started doing martial arts. I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai and MMA, and I did that for over 5 years. But what was my point? I was doing all this to overcome, to be better. And I started working out on the regular. And none of it helped. I just still was depressed. I kept watching self-help videos online. And I was like, I'm still severely depressed. I still can't talk to people. To the point where I got a bouncing job at this local bar in town. And I became the door guy. So I literally talked to every single person that walked into the bar. I would become a bar guy. And I worked a second job. So I had 2 jobs, very social. I was a line cook, and I was a bouncer. And I continuously kept working, trying to improve myself. And I never knew what was wrong with me until it was too late. And I was hallucinating, and I could see ghost people. And I thought I had telekinetic powers. I thought I was a superhero. I thought I was the chosen one. And then to a point, after like weeks and like months of going through this, because it kept building up over like months. Like it took like months to get to this point, but to a point where I thought maybe I was like Jesus, like the chosen one. Like I was either chosen by God or sent by God, or I was God, or I was a demigod, or I was just like a superhero, or I just thought, you know, I had to be, because I could hear everyone's voices in my head, and I thought I had control of other people like no other being before me. And there were evil people like demons out there, demons, witches, and warlocks, and they had telekinetic powers too, but they couldn't control me. And when I had my eyes, like when I saw other people, I figured out whoever I connected to, if I had evil people connected to me, they could jump from my mind into their mind and look out my eyes into their eyes and control them through my eyes. They could remotely control me. So they would constantly, to control someone, I would watch other people and their eyes would roll into the back of their head and their eyes would go pure white. And I would know that the demons have taken control over them. Well, they would constantly tell me to look up. And I would have my eyes, and my eyes would be like they would try to get my eyes to roll into the back of my head, but they couldn't. So no matter what they did, they couldn't get my eyes to roll back in my head, no matter how hard they tried. So I believed I was the chosen one, that the evil people couldn't be. I was sent to save the other people. Well, my power level was, I thought, like, if you said a secret catchphrase and you did like a handshake, or you said what's up, or you dapped someone up and you said like, I will support you, or you're my brother, or whatever, it's secret catchphrase, and then you would soul connect with them, then you could read each other's minds. So I thought I had discovered this. Well, the more people you did that with, the more powerful your mind powers would become. So I just started dapping everyone up, saying I would support them and all these nice things. Then they're probably like, oh, I don't even know this guy. Why is he saying that? I'm like, why is he saying he'll support me? That's weird. Like, I just thought I was getting stronger mind powers to save the world from these people. And I'm about home. I might make another video about this, but I'm just driving home from my dad's. But so I would go weeks without sleeping. And with all the voices in your head, it's like impossible to sleep. It's impossible to sleep. It's like they're fighting in their head. They're trying to kill you and your family and all this stuff. If some like mafia was out to kill your family and stuff, could you sleep? Well, that's what it felt like. It's like I literally had the superhero mafia. Like at first it was like I'm gonna beat you up, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna beat you up. It's like, oh, I know how to fight. And I was like, well, I know how to fight. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna bring multiple people. And I was like, well, I'll bring some brass knuckles. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna bring a gun. And I was like, well, I'll bring a fucking shotgun. And then it was like, we're gonna have multiple people with guns. And then I was like, I gotta get my friends to get multiple people with guns. And it's like, then I was like running around with a gun and like patrolling my house with a shotgun. Well, I had roommates, by the way, so they're like freaking out and they're like, what is he doing? And I was like just walking and staring through the peephole like 3 a.m. in the morning, patrolling my apartment with a shotgun, thinking people were going to come over to assassinate me, and just all in my head. It was just completely and utterly in my head. And I'm so relieved that it's in my head, but that was the biggest mind fuck ever, was going through a mental hospital the second time, because the first time I went, they did nothing for me. They charged me $60,000. They didn't even make sure I was on the medication. They let me out, and my mom had to get the police to take me back in the mental hospital a second time within like a couple days of being released from the first one. And yeah, I'm just pulling into my apartment. They took me in the second time. I just have to think for a second. Lost my train of thought. They took me in the second time, and that's when I got the help I needed. Actually, when the my sister was like, I was in the apartment with my sister, and I kept thinking it was the end of the world. Like, I was giving up because I had fought for like weeks of not sleeping, and I was so tired. And I thought like I had to straighten my back and keep my back straight, because if I didn't keep my back straight, they could jump into my mind. The evil people could jump into my mind and erase my thoughts and erase my memories. So I was constantly like walking up, and then I thought I had to posture up. So I had like my nose up there, posture up, and like gritting my teeth like this. And I thought this was like the confidence, the confidence position. And that would make me more powerful with stronger mind powers. And I could constantly do that. Just waving at my neighbor. So I was like that for like weeks, and like constantly fighting mind battles in my head. And well, it got to the point where my dad and my sister were in my apartment. Well, I was drinking out of the mug, and I just went on the deck, and I was just like drinking, and I was like, yep, the end of the world. Because I was supposed to be the chosen one, but I was not powerful enough to stop the evil people. And I kept thinking I was, and I kept fighting, and I kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and I thought I saved the world, and I didn't. I thought I saved the world, and I didn't. And I kept going and trying over and over, thinking I would save the world, and I didn't. Well, I gave up, and I was starting to give up. So I was drinking the water, and they were starting to take over my sister's mind and my dad's mind while they were there. And I was trying to save them. And so I took the mug and I just chucked it outside, chucked it into the weeds. And I went, and then I thought the evil people jumped from my mind into my sister's mind. So my sister was running around saying, "Knives, Alex, knives, knives, knives." So I thought they were going to get her to kill herself. So from my family's perspective, my sister's perspective, I just started grabbing all the kitchen knives and hoarding them in my room. Just grabbing every knife in the house and just like hoarding all the knives, all the butter knives, all the steak knives, all the chef knives, all the pocket knives, hoarding them in my room. Well, she just sees me grabbing all these knives and being crazy. And she thinks, oh, yeah. So I don't know what she thinks, but I've asked her about it before. But from my perspective, she is trying to get the knives. In reality, she's trying to get the knives away from me so I don't hurt myself. But in my mind, I'm trying to get the knives away from her so she don't hurt herself. So it's like this mind fuck where she was kind of trying not to get me to get the knives because she wanted me not to have knives, to hurt myself. Well, there's like a ghost person named James King, and he's just like floating around me, and I'm fighting him, and he even like goes up into the ceiling and comes up upside down where his head's just sticking out of the ceiling. I'm trying to beat him up and like fight him off and stuff, and trying to cause pain to him. And I'm trying to fight him, and I keep trying to fight. I've talked to other schizophrenics. I've heard their stories on YouTube and stuff, and a lot of them are afraid of the demons. And I was scared of the demons, but I was like, no matter what, I'm going to kick their fucking ass, no matter how scary they are. I'm going to fight them. So that's why I kept getting into trouble, because I was like, I was going to fight the demons. I was going to save my family. Like, I'm not going to let my family die. I'm not going to let myself die. I'm going to fucking fight these demons. Well, eventually, the demons convinced me that this is like too much information, but the demons convinced me to, I don't even want to say this, maybe this would get me in legal trouble. I don't know, but the demons convinced me to, like, they want to watch me have sexual relations with my sister, and I want to die because I've been fighting for weeks without sleep and stuff, and I keep trying to do these postures and fight in my mind, and so eventually, like, I go lay down on the bed. I'm just like, please make it stop, please make it stop. I'm punching myself in the head, just constantly punching myself in the head, and banging my head against the wall. And my sister comes down, sits next to me, and she's probably trying to see what's wrong, trying to comfort me. They're trying to get talk to my mom to get the police to come and take me back to the hospital. And at that time, I pull out my dick and start touching my sister's breast, and I'm like thinking like I'm going to like have sexual relations with my sister. I don't know. And this is what the deep, and like from my perspective, like my sister was like uncontrollably attracted to me for some reason, and like saying fuck me, and like, and the demons were telling me like I had to fuck my sister. And I was resisting, like I was trying not to do this. I didn't want to do this at all, and I was like, I have to do this, and I can't stop. Like I have no control over myself. And from my perspective, my sister's trying to get me to do it, even though in real life she's like pushing me off. She was scared. She thought she was like, she told me it was like, it's like you didn't even know who I was, and she said this. It's like you didn't even know who I was, and I was really scared. And I was like, from my perspective, she wanted me to fuck her. The demons were forcing me to fuck her. I didn't want to fuck her. The little voice in my head was so quiet, it couldn't even stop. It couldn't even speak. And all the other voices in my head were like forcing me to do this. So eventually the police came, and my sister said she was surprised I didn't fight against the cops. But my perspective was, they know not what they do. That I was like as if I was the second coming of Jesus Christ or some shit. Like I was literally the second coming of Jesus Christ, and the police know not what they do. And they put me in the back of the car, and they took me to the hospital. And yeah. I'll end it there. I've probably said too much, but I just thought I'd share my story. If anyone cares to watch, if anyone wants to hear, I have like, I could probably go on for hours about my experience, but the first story I put on here, I kind of rehearsed it because I'm not good off the cuff, but I kind of wrote it down and just read off a piece of paper my experience. But this was just me, purely just stream of consciousness, you know. But yeah. Alright guys, have a good night, have a good day.